Hi there. We are going to learn English grammar for cracking your TOEFL or IELTS exam. How quickly you can learn English grammar, how quickly you can start your pronunciation crystal clear, how nicely you can communicate with people in English. That would be our main focus. Beginning with our journey, the first topic is the subject and the predicate. Now, before we move ahead, you must know what is a sentence and what is a phrase. So, we all generally know that if we want to communicate, we will have to speak words. That is, wrote in the arrivals lounge. Now, see, these are the group of the words like Rohan Patel sat in the arrivals lounge. So these words are arranged in such a manner that they give us a complete meaning, a complete sense. Another example is Aisha Khan stood by the baggage claim. Now there's a meaning that there's a lady who stood by the baggage claim. Another example is Liam Chen sat in a corner sipping Tim Hortons coffee. So basically, uh, all these three characters, they are somewhere at the airport. Rohan Patel sat in the arrivals lounge. Aisha Khan stood by the baggage claim, and Liam Chan sat in a corner sipping Tim Hortons coffee. So, what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. When you read a sentence, it gives you an idea, a crystal clear idea that who's the character we are talking about and what is that character doing. For example, Rohan Patel is the character and he sat in the arrivals lounge. Aisha Khan is another character and she stood by the baggage claim. Liam Chen was the third character and he sat in a corner and was sipping Tim Hortons coffee. So the group of words that make complete sense is called a sentence. But on the words that has a meaning but doesn't form a complete sentence is called a phrase. For example, the big red car is a phrase, but it's not a complete sentence. Why? We know that we are talking about a big red car, but what about with big red car? Is that car standing somewhere or it has gone through some accident? We don't have complete information about the big red car. We only have a phrase, the big red car, but nothing regarding the car is explained. Another phrases are under the bridge, on my way home, the big brown dog. So these are phrases because they do not have a complete sense. They don't make a complete sense. So a sentence has parts. A sentence is made up of several parts, such as nouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, etc. So we throughout our journey, we'll go through each and every term in detail. We are going to discuss nouns, we are going to discuss verbs, their types, how to use, how to identify, how to rectify which is a noun, which is a verb. All this in detail we are going to learn. But actually, before dividing the sentence into nouns, verbs, pronouns, adverbs, adjectives, conjunction, preposition, interjection, we will divide a sentence into two main parts and the predicate. So now let's see what is a subject and what is the predicate. When we communicate, we have a subject to speak about, and predicate means something about the subject. Without these two parts, a subject and a predicate, sentence is incomplete and cannot express a full thought. For example, our first sentence was Rohan Patel sat in the arrivals lounge. Now you can see Rohan Patel, that is marked with red color. It is our subject because we are speaking about Rohan Patel. And sat in the arrivals lounge is our predicate because this is something about Rohan Patel, that Rohan Patel sat in the arrivals lounge. So predicate means the action or the information about our subject, Rohan Patel, is given. Let's go to our second sentence and find out which is the subject and which is the predicate. Obviously, the one in the red color is our subject because we are talking about Aisha Khan. The person is performing the action. What action she is performing? She's standing by the baggage claim. So the subject is Aisha Khan, and the predicate, the action or the information about Aisha Khan is that she stood by the baggage claim. So our predicate is stood by the baggage claim. Let's see our third sentence. Liam Chan sat in a corner sipping Tim Hortons coffee. Obviously, subject is Liam Chan, who is performing an action, who is sipping Tim Hortons coffee, who is sitting in a corner, is our subject, and Liam Chan is our subject. And the action or information about the subject Liam Chen is that he sat in a corner sipping Tim Hortons coffee. So the one which is marked in violet color is sat in a corner sipping Tim Hortons coffee is our predicate. So subject plus predicate must make clear sense. It is not like a phrase. It's not an incomplete sentence. Subject plus predicate makes a complete sentence. It gives us a crystal clear idea about who is the person we are talking about and what is that person doing. For example, here the earth revolves around the sun. The earth is the subject. We are talking about the earth. And what is earth doing? What is the action that the earth is performing? That is our predicate. Revolves around the sun. So subject is the earth and predicate is revolves around the sun. Both subject plus predicate are giving us a clear sense about the whole sentence. It's not like a phrase like I told you. We saw the phrases previously: under the bridge, the big red car. Now, these do not have a clear sense. They are just stating about the subject, the big red car. But what is that big red car doing? That wasn't explained. So that was a phrase. But this sentence, the earth is making a clear sense. So we can say the subject is the naming part. So part of sentence which names the person or thing we are talking about is called subject of the sentence. For example, if I say, who are we talking about? Or what is the thing that we are talking about? Then we'll clearly understand that we are asking what is the subject. For example, a person, place, animal, or thing that we are talking about is a noun. So subject is usually a noun. Mumbai is the capital of Maharashtra. Now, Mumbai is the naming part, the noun, and it is our subject. We are talking about Mumbai, so it is our subject. And is the capital of Maharashtra is our predicate. Edison invented the phonograph. So, who is the person we are talking about? It is our noun. It is our name, Edison. So Edison is the naming part. It is our subject. The lion is a carnivorous animal. So which animal we are talking about? We are talking about lion. So lion is our subject. So since we told here whether it is a person, a place, an animal, or a thing, so place is our Mumbai. Person, we talked about Edison. Animal, we talked about lion. So whether it is a person, place, animal, thing, it is a noun and subject. So it's very easy to rectify which is the subject if we clearly read a sentence. Next, the guitar is a musical thing. So again, we were talking about our thing, right? Thing is a noun. And we are talking about which thing? Guitar. So the subject over here is the guitar. So when you're learning English grammar, it becomes very easy if you clearly understand the sentence and rectify which part is the subject part and which part is the predicate part. Now, we talked about the sentence Mumbai is the capital of Maharashtra. So, what about Mumbai? It is the capital of Maharashtra. It is the telling part. So the predicate is the telling part, the part of sentence which tells or asks something about the subject is called the predicate. Our subject is Mumbai. And what detail we are having about Mumbai over here? That it is the capital of Maharashtra. So it is the telling part. It is the predicate. It tells what the subject is doing. Predicate starts with a verb and will have an object. So the verb in the above sentence, Mumbai is the capital of Maharashtra, the verb, which is the verb part? This is our subject and is the verb, right? And Maharashtra is our object. So we can divide our predicate into two parts, verb and an object. And an object is usually a noun again. For example, you can see here, Maharashtra is the object. It is a noun. Verb is an subject. Our subject is Mumbai, right? So subject is the naming part. Predicate is the telling part. So our object noun is the capital, Maharashtra. Edison invented the phonograph. That was our second sentence, right? So the verb over here is invented. What is the action? Action verb is invented. And what is the noun over here? Phonograph. So let's divide the sentence into subject plus predicate, and we saw that predicate is again divided as verb plus object. So with a solid grasp of subjects and predicates, we can start constructing basic English sentences, right? So this is the reason why subject and predicate must be known for constructing basic English sentence. Subject plus predicate, that is verb plus object. The girl eats an apple. Now, if I want to say which is the subject and which is the predicate, then the girl is the subject because we are talking about the girl. She is going to eat an apple. So our subject is the girl. Verb eats. What is the action? Eating is the action, right? So eats is the verb. And what is the object? Apple. Again, it is a noun, right? It is name is noun. So apple is the object. So the girl is subject, eats an apple is the predicate. Now, what is the easiest way to find out which is the subject and predicate, the easiest way is ask questions about the sentence and you'll be able to easily rectify which is the subject and which is the predicate. For example, I play tennis every Wednesday. Now, the first and the foremost question that you should ask is about what or whom is the sentence saying something? The sentence is saying or is being said regarding I, right? So I is our subject. I is our subject. And second question that you should ask about what the sentence is telling something. I play tennis every Wednesday. So play tennis every Wednesday is our predicate. So by asking question, easily find out which is the subject part and which is the predicate part. Second one, again, let's ask a question. My boss gave me instructions. So about what or whom the sentence is saying something. We are talking about boss, right? So boss is our subject. And if we talk what action the boss is doing or what is the sentence telling about a boss, that he gave instructions. So gave me the instructions is the predicate part. So simply by asking two questions or simply by finding which is the naming part and which is the telling part, we can easily rectify which is the subject and which is the predicate. Again, let's go to the third statement. We are going to Hollywood. So, what is the sentence or whom is the sentence saying something? We are talking about we, right? So, here we is our subject because we are going to do some action. We are going to Hollywood. So, naming part over here, the noun, or instead of noun, say pronoun is we. So, we is our subject. And about what is the sentence telling? What are we going to do? What action that we are going to Hollywood? So, are going to Hollywood is our predicate. So, yeah, simply by asking the questions, we can find out which is our subject part and which is our predicate part. Next. Mona Lisa is a painting by Leonardo da Vinci. So, Mona Lisa is our subject, is verb, and what is the object? A painting by Leonardo da Vinci. My sister Karen is waiting for us. So, subject is my sister Karen, is the verb, and waiting for us is the object. Was Andy angry? See, this is an interrogative sentence. We are asking a question. So now the verb, subject, object, its placement has changed. Now you can see in this sentence, verb is placed first, then comes our subject, and then there is an object. So was is the verb, Andy is the subject, and angry is the object. Was Andy angry? Naming part is Andy, and was angry is our predicate. The boy stood on the sinking ship. The whole sentence revolves around the boy. So the boy is our subject. And warming, he stood on the sinking ship. So our predicate is stood on the sinking ship. He has a good memory. What is our sentence revolving around, or whom is the sentence revolving around? It is revolving around he. So he is our subject, and has a good memory is our predicate. Bad habits grow unconsciously. What is the sentence revolving around? What is the main topic over here? Bad habits. So bad habits is our subject, and grow unconsciously is our predicate. So simply, like I said before, asking questions is going to give you the hint that which is the subject and which is the predicate. The early bird catches the worm. So what is the crux of this whole sentence? What is the whole sentence revolving around? The sentence is revolving around the naming part, that is the early bird. So that is our subject. And what action the early bird is performing? Catches the worm, right? So the catches the worm is our predicate. The temperature dropped suddenly. The whole sentence revolves around what main topic? The main topic is our temperature. So the temperature is subject, and dropped suddenly is our predicate. Has the plane landed? See, again, this is an interrogative. A sentence has a question mark, right? So what is the main topic of this whole interrogative sentence? The plane. So it is our subject. And has landed. What is the action that is being performing? What is the verb? Verb is has. Landed is object. So has landed is our predicate. So simply by cutting the sentence into two parts, the naming part and the telling part, you can easily rectify which is the subject and which is the predicate. Has our teacher recovered from flu? Again, this is an interrogative sentence, a sentence with the question mark. So in this question, what is the main topic around which the whole sentence is revolving? Well, the main topic is, you can easily find out, it is our teacher. So our teacher is the subject, and has recovered from flu. Has is the verb, right? And recovered from flu is the object. So has recovered from flu is our predicate. Nature is the best physician. So what is the whole topic around which our sentence is revolving? The main topic is nature. So that is our subject. Is the verb, and best physician is the object. So nature is the best physician. Is the best physician is our predicate. Is the noise from the next room bothering you? Again, this is an interrogative sentence, and you would have observed one interrogative sentence that we talked about always started with the verb has, is, has, right? So verb is. And if we talk about this sentence, what is the main topic around which the whole sentence revolves? The main topic is the noise from the next room. So that is our subject. And bothering you is our predicate. So sentences must be framed in correct manner. And for that reason, you should know that which is the subject part and which is the predicate part. Runs quickly the dog. If I say like this, runs quickly the dog, then the sentence is not having any meaning. But if I replace the dog over here, the dog runs quickly, then it makes a clear meaning, right? It gives us a clear meaning that the dog runs quickly. So sentences must be framed in correct manner. Just by putting the group of words doesn't mean that it is a sentence, but those group of words must be grouped properly. Then it would give us certain meaning, and a meaningful sentence is the correct sentence. So, are the bloomings? The flowers are blooming. Writes stories a novelist. A novelist writes stories. So obviously, the subject part and predicate part are highlighted in the red color and purple color. So you would easily rectify which is the subject and which is the predicate when you frame the sentence in a correct manner. So not necessarily always the subject will remain first and the predicate will remain afterwards. It's not like that. Depending on the sentence, you should understand the position of the predicate. So it can happen in three ways. The predicate can be placed in three ways. The usual way we have seen predicate is after the subject. So what is our subject? The parking lot is our subject. And our predicate is after the subject, is next to the depot. But the second way is predicate can be before the subject also. For example, next to the bus depot is the parking lot. So since the main part of the sentence, the naming part is the parking lot, so it is placed afterwards and predicate is placed first. So not necessarily predicate will always be after the subject. It might be there before the subject also. Predicate partly before and partly after the subject. For example, I told you that when there is an interrogative question mark, interrogative sentence, then the predicate will be partly before and partly after the subject. For example, is the parking lot next to the bus depot? So is next to the bus depot is our predicate. So partly before our subject, the parking lot, and partly after the subject. So these are the ways in which the predicate would be placed either before, either after the subject, or partly before and partly after the subject. So there are several parts of our sentence, parts of speech, and we are going to learn all the parts of speech, nouns, adjectives, adverbs, conjunctions. We are going to learn all of them. So understanding the parts of speech is necessary and to effectively communicate and express ideas clearly. It also helps to construct grammatically correct sentences. It enables better comprehension and interpretation of written and spoken language. And since we are going to focus more on reading, writing, speaking, listening skills, so for all of them, parts of speech, the clear understanding of all parts of speech is necessary. We wanted to know the subject part and predicate part very clearly. So the whole module was regarding that. I hope you all understood. Thank you so much.